Billy back here with Broship of the Nerds, and I've been to the theater twice now to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. The question was, how are they going to follow up the events of No Way Home, right? You have the death of Aunt May, and the spell by Doctor Strange to make Spider-Man be forgotten by everybody. So that's what it is. So you have Peter Parker dealing with Aunt May. How would that affect him as Spider-Man as well? That was the question I had going in, and that was handled beautifully. Um, Early in the film, we discover that he's been fighting crime. It's been 4 years. There's a time jump here. It's been 4 years since the events of No Way Home. So 4 years without his former girlfriend and best friend knowing who he is, and Aunt May being taken from him. So he's been fighting crime. He has like a little secret lair upstairs and everything. That was really cool. Um, and he's dealing with Scorpion again, and we have some mysterious character now. You see them basically do that, and they're jumping from person to person. So when I went the first time to see this, my friend um, thought it was Chameleon. The Chameleon was being given a different power. Somehow Chameleon was jumping from body to body. So he was like, how's that happening? I was like, I don't know. That sounds interesting. Let's see what happens. And honestly, it was a very good guess on his part. I still wasn't quite sure. And then we hear about telepathy and everything and keep going into that. But he's dealing with his eyes turning black and he falls over, his arachnid side taking over. So he's got a spider part of him taking over. And early on we can tell Frank and him or the Punisher have a friendship, or kind of. They know each other. They know of each other at least. And even though MJ and Ned do not know who he is, he's still watching their videos on Instagram. He's still keeping an eye on them. He's still wanting to protect them. And so it's hard because he's trying to stay out of their lives, but he can't seem to get away because he cares for these people so much. But I think losing Aunt May scared him more than anything, so he thought he was doing what was best for Ned and MJ. And so he goes through this journey where there's one scene where he wakes up in a web up high. And then he falls out and hits his back and falls in. It was hilarious because he goes in and wears this girl's low cut shirt and pants that say juicy. I was dying. So there are some comedy elements too, but it was more serious in its tone, and I like that. And after seeing it a second time, I appreciated it more because I think the day I saw it the first time, I don't know if I was just tired or what it was. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it more upon a second viewing. Um, and we knew Sadie Sink was going to be in this, but we didn't know as who. You have the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo returning. You have Yelena, Florence Pugh in here, and Small Potatoes, and he steps into her office, which is a pool, which was hilarious. There was just so much going for this, and then of course the reveal of who Sadie Sink was, her character, and her abilities, and I'm curious as to how she will be used going forward. Like, are they going to start with the original team for the X-Men? Or are we going to be seeing more of the popular ones? Because I was looking up, Storm was not actually a member of the original X-Men team. So I don't know if they introduce Storm later, if they're going to wait till after the original team's developed, or if they're going to get away from the comic books and go more popular. So yeah, the mutants are here. We're seeing more of them now. And Sadie Sink is playing one of the big ones. Um, and we find out her sister was taken from her. So the whole movie, you think, oh well, she's just being doing this stuff to be evil, and then we learn the true story of what's happening. So there's some twists and turns within the film. And of course, I'm a big Spider-Man as a kid was my favorite, still is. Tom Holland has played this to perfection, but he's also had a great team behind him with great stories. Um, I really like Homecoming. I will say this over and over on this channel. I think Spider-Man Homecoming is the most rewatchable film of the entire MCU because it flies by really quick. And then the twist with Michael Keaton's Vulture opening the door whenever Spider-Man Peter Parker is going to pick up his date. And so this whole movie, not whole movie, but a lot of the movie, Peter Parker is trying to solve this. How do I suppress the arachnid side of me? Because what I liked was his emotions and the stuff he's been through, the trauma, is causing his spider side to dominate. So this time he's trying to find solutions. He visits Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, Bruce Banner at college, trying to come up with some way to suppress or level out the DNA, the RNA, and and then what he Hulk asked him or Banner asked him a puzzling question: what if it's something that needs to be expressed? What if you're trying to suppress something that needs to be expressed? And that was very thought provoking. And there's a lot of moments like that in this film. A lot of good action sequences. The runtime is like 2.5 hours, but it flies by like you've only been there for an hour and a half. It's just very well paced. Uh, the action's great. The story's great. This might be the best Spider-Man film we've had. Like I said, I still think Homecoming is more rewatchable, but this one has a more complex story and more things that happen to the characters than the story. So I really like that aspect of it. And the friendship between him and Punisher Frank is just great. There's a lot of stuff that happens with him almost dying because of Punisher trying to save Sadie Sink's character, which was a nice twist. It shows you he's willing to make the sacrifice to save people that he deems are important. And then, of course, the twist with MJ. At one point, MJ's taken over and he thinks he's talking to her. They kiss, and then she doesn't remember any of it because the whole time it wasn't actually her. It was Sadie Sink's character. So, the ending leaves you hopeful because at the end of the film, he tells Aunt May at her grave, "I'm not going to do this alone anymore." And he goes to Ned and does the secret handshake, and Ned remembers it, muscle memory. So it does what every Spider-Man film has done so far, for Tom Holland's at least. At the end of it, going, "Oh, where are we going?" It leaves you with some hope that he's going to reconnect with Ned and MJ. He's restarting because like all those memories he has are gone. Those high school memories that bring people together, those are all gone. So is there still a way for him to salvage his friendship with Ned and to be with MJ again? So that's the question going into a potential fifth Spider-Man. Um, and I like it. I like the way they ended that one. They do a good job of making you wonder where the story's going to go. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Uh, and Yelena was a nice addition that I did not expect. And then during the film, he's working with a police officer, and that was really cool too. And they kept it more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. They focus more on Queens. This isn't like him going out into the big world, brand new day. We're back to street level. We're back to local. This isn't like small potatoes, right? This isn't a worldwide scale thing yet. And I really liked it, and then I really liked how he was able to the Aunt May still helping people after she's gone. I really enjoyed that twist. That even though she's gone, she's still helping people. Wow. So they just did so many things right in this film. I don't really have any negative things to say or any critiques except for the fact that it was such a phenomenal film. And I will be adding it to the collection once it comes out. I do have every MCU film besides Spider-Man Brand New Day, but that's because it's not available yet. Once it is, and there is just going to be, like your Blu-ray, probably DVD and 4K, but I did see they are having a special 4K Steelbook. We'll see. I may end up splurging. We will see. But I really enjoyed the hell out of this film. Let me know in the comments what you thought. What were your favorite moments? Who were your favorite characters? I really liked the back and forth between him and Frank Punisher. I think that really made this movie. It added more layers to it, and then him trying to keep MJ and Ned safe while still thinking that he is protecting them by not reintroducing himself. He even goes as far as to make a fake name Maynard in order to meet them, talk to them, but not reveal his true identity. And so it's just such a cool thing. And there is a little post-credit scene, but not scene, but there's a little thing. And people in front of us said Battle World, Secret Wars possibly tie in, which that's pretty cool. I don't know that much about it, but my friend kind of filled me in. My friend Eddie, he kind of filled me in on what is going on there. And as far as my next review goes, that'll be coming up here on the channel, so stay tuned. I cannot wait to share my review of The Nightmare Before Christmas. But let me know your final thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. And the movie has made well over $1 billion, probably close to 1.6 or something like that, if I believe the last time I checked. They expected to hit 2 billion, which is just astounding. Um, so we've already had hit movies this year. It's the number one for this year so far. Doomsday could surpass it. The Odyssey made over $1 billion as well. So what a year for Hollywood. They're starting to bounce back and get more hits. But that's all I have, guys. Like, comment, subscribe.